Today, let's delve into the complete story of Ishmael, the forgotten son of Abraham. Get ready for an exciting narrative filled with human struggles, divine promises, and God's enduring grace. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our Bible Mysteries channel and activate the notification bell so you never miss an engaging episode. Our story begins with Abraham, a man of faith living near Hebron. In Genesis 15, God appeared to Abraham and made an extraordinary promise: he would be the father of many nations. At that time, Abraham and his wife, Sarah, were childless as Sarah was barren. They both wondered how this divine promise would be fulfilled, given that Abraham was already advanced in age, at 86 years old. Desperate to see the promise fulfilled, Sarah suggested a solution that seemed sensible at the time: Abraham should have a child with her Egyptian servant, Hagar. In Genesis 16 verse 3, we read that Sarah took Hagar and gave her to Abraham as his wife. This was a common custom in ancient times, where a barren woman would offer a servant to her husband to bear children on her behalf. All children born from this union were considered children of the wife. Hagar conceived, and upon realizing she was pregnant, she began to despise Sarah. Feeling humiliated and despised, Sarah turned to Abraham. In Genesis 16 verse 5, Sarah said to Abraham, "You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I put my servant in your arms, and now that she knows she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me." Abraham allowed Sarah to handle the situation as she saw fit, and Sarah mistreated Hagar, who fled to the desert. There, the angel of the Lord found Hagar by a spring of water. The angel told her to return to Sarah and submit to her, promising that her descendants would be numerous. The angel also revealed that the son Hagar was expecting should be named Ishmael, which means God hears, for the Lord had heard Hagar's misery. Hagar returned to Abraham and gave birth to Ishmael. The family situation seemed stabilized, but the true tension was yet to come. Years later, God renewed his promise to Abraham and affirmed that Sarah would bear a son, Isaac, who would be the son of promise. Abraham, perplexed, asked God if Ishmael could not be his heir. In Genesis 17 verse 18, Abraham said to God, "If only Ishmael might live under your blessing." God, however, made it clear that the covenant would be established through Isaac, although he also promised to bless Ishmael and make him a great nation because he was Abraham's offspring. Then, as per God's promise, Sarah gave birth to Isaac when Abraham was 100 years old. Isaac's birth brought joy but also triggered new tensions. During Isaac's winning feast, Sarah saw Ishmael mocking Isaac and became deeply disturbed. In Genesis 21 verse 10, Sarah asked Abraham to send Hagar and Ishmael away, "Get rid of that slave woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac." Although this request was difficult for Abraham, God instructed him to follow Sarah's wish, assuring him that he would take care of Ishmael. So, Abraham rose early in the morning, gave bread and a bottle of water to Hagar, and sent her away with her son. Hagar and Ishmael wandered in the desert of Beersheba until the water ran out and they were on the brink of death. In her despair, Hagar moved away from Ishmael so as not to see him die and began to cry. God heard the boy's cry, and the angel of the Lord called to Hagar from heaven, saying, "Do not be afraid, God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation." God opened Hagar's eyes, and she saw a well of water, where she could fill the bottle and give Ishmael a drink. Ishmael grew up and became a strong and skilled man in the desert of Barren, where he lived with his mother, Hagar. Life in the desert was harsh, but it forged in Ishmael a resilient and independent spirit. He learned to survive in a hostile environment, becoming a skilled archer, hunting to provide for himself and his mother. As Ishmael grew, the memories of his childhood in Abraham and Sarah's household remained vivid in his mind. He remembered his father's love and kindness, as well as the constant tension between his mother and Sarah. Despite being expelled, Ishmael bore no grudge. He understood that his life was part of a larger plan, a divine plan he did not yet fully comprehend. Time passed, and Ishmael married an Egyptian woman chosen by his mother, Hagar. They began to build their own family in the desert, and God blessed Ishmael with 12 sons who became leaders of their own tribes. The names of his sons, as listed in Genesis 25 verses 13 to 15, were Nebaioth, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Dumah, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. Each of these sons grew up to lead their own clan, expanding Ishmael's influence throughout the region. Despite the physical and emotional distance between Ishmael and Isaac, the two brothers eventually reunited. After Abraham's death, Ishmael and Isaac came together to bury him, demonstrating that despite the difficult circumstances of their lives, the family connection remained strong. This moment of reunion symbolized the continuity of Abraham's legacy through his two sons, each fulfilling their role in God's grand plan. Ishmael's life in the desert was marked by many challenges, but also by significant achievements. He and his descendants settled in a vast region, dwelling from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt toward Assyria, as mentioned in Genesis 25 verse 18. Ishmael's presence and that of his family in the region deeply influenced the history and culture of the surrounding peoples. In addition to being a leader of his own tribe, Ishmael played a significant role in the relations between different clans and nations. He was known for his wisdom and diplomatic skills, often mediating disputes and forging alliances that benefited not only his family but also neighboring communities. Hagar, Ishmael's mother, remained by his side for many years, being a constant source of support and advice. She always reminded Ishmael of God's promise and the importance of keeping the faith, regardless of adversities. Hagar was a strong and resilient maternal figure, whose unwavering faith inspired not only Ishmael but also subsequent generations. The story of Ishmael offers us many valuable lessons. It teaches us about the importance of resilience, faith, and the ability to overcome adversity. It shows us that even when life puts us in difficult situations, there is a greater purpose at play and that God's grace can manifest in unexpected ways. Although Ishmael is often remembered as the forgotten son of Abraham, his life and legacy are a powerful reminder that everyone has a role to play in the divine plan. Through his descendants, Ishmael significantly contributed to the history and heritage of the peoples of the Middle East, fulfilling God's promise that he would become a great nation. And so, we conclude our profound journey through the life of Ishmael. We hope this narrative has been inspiring and enriching for you. Thank you for joining us in another fascinating exploration of the Bible's pages. Don't forget to subscribe to our Bible Mysteries channel and activate the notification bell for more captivating and wisdom-filled stories. May God bless you and your family. Until next time, and may the peace of the Lord always be with you.